Welcome to the Florida Keys Sportsman. I'm your host, Craig Eubank, and with me is our resident dive expert, Tim Taylor. Expert.
Yeah, expert. That means I'm 20 miles from home with a slideshow.
The slideshow. But seriously, today we're going to be diving one of the lower Florida Keys' most popular artificial reefs, which is a wreck called the Cayman Salvage Master, or more commonly known down here as the Cayman Salvor.
Yeah, it's a great wreck. If this is any indication of what artificial reefs should be like, they should have a ton of them down here, and the new sanctuary should be putting more. But on this show, we're gonna dive inside, we're gonna dive outside, we're gonna feed fish, we're gonna basically do everything there is on this wreck to do, and there is a lot. You can't just do it in one dive, so it's gonna be a lot of fun.
We're gonna take a real short break, then we'll be back and we'll dive the Cayman Salvor in Key West, Florida. Hey boy, we back! What's up? What's up? And we're back right here at the Florida Keys Sportsman. Tim, tell us a little bit of the dive plan that we're going to follow today on our dive.
Well, we've already hooked up to the wreck. Our visibility reports are 10 feet of viz, but I don't think that's going to affect our dive plans today because we plan on penetrating the wreck or actually going inside and exploring some of the different rooms.
Now, this is considered an advanced dive.
It is an advanced dive. We know this wreck. We've dove it hundreds of times. We know it inside and out. We've taken artifacts off this wreck, so don't try this at home or without any advanced training. But we do have some really neat things to show you down there. We got some big resident Jewfish and some eels, plus all the different compartments, engine rooms and pump rooms and things of that nature. So it should be a real pretty dive.
All right, let's go diving.
Let's do it.
What a dive.
Oh my God.
How do you know where all that stuff is?
It's got enough to look at. Look at this. See the brass on it. People swim under that 100 times. Oh, right. This is the Florida Keys Sportsman. We'll be right back.
Welcome back to the Florida Keys Sportsman. Tim and I just came up off the dive from the Cayman Salvor, as you saw, and we did not plan on finding any artifacts. Of course, Tim spotted this as we were swimming through the engine room, and we brought this up. He's brought another one he's found before. And I guess you just have to have an eye for this sort of thing.
Yeah, we weren't planning it. We just we got lucky today. I did bring these along to show what type of artifacts do come off this wreck, because it does have a lot of brass on it. But this is kind of a treat.
I can't believe it. Now, when you clean this one up, it's going to look
it'll look
like this
just like this
light.
one. Now, between the two, I have a complete wire cage brass light, and these were built in the 1920s. So they're pretty cool. They don't build them like this anymore.
Now, is it fairly rare to find the actual glass still in one of these? Have you found glass before?
I've had glass before, but I had one and it broke, so this is probably my first complete wire cage light.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah,
I guess
thanks.
I better not break it then. Okay.
It's pretty neat.
So how's this wreck, how's it situated on the bottom?
Well, right now she lays in 90 feet of water, and the deck is at about 65. In the past, when it was first sunk, it used to lay on its side. And we had Hurricane Kate come through about a year after she was sunk and kicked her from her side, a 200-foot steel vessel with engines in, from her side onto her keel.
Flipped it up on the keel.
Yeah.
So just the force of this hurricane has taken this wreck and put it up back on its keel. Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
It's pretty neat. And it's right now it lies, like I said, 65 feet to the top, 90 feet to the bottom, and it's a real pretty dive. Conditions out here sometimes are better than others. Today we had a little bit low visibility, but we have footage that we'll show you that of days when we have much better conditions.
It's very clear out here. Sometimes you were telling me you can see the wreck from the surface.
Yep.
Look right over the side.
Why don't we show you that right now?
Going diving, Florida Keys Sportsman style.
Florida Keys Sportsman, we'll be right back. During the dive today, of course, our visibility was a little bit limited and I couldn't actually see the whole wreck. But what did this boat used to be?
The boat officially, I guess, was a Coast Guard buoy tender. We've got plaques off of it that say motor vessel or research vessel hunt. So at one time it might have been a research vessel, but the knowledge we have about it now is that it used to be a buoy tender.
And why, how do we get the name Cayman Salvor?
That was on it when it was sunk.
Oh, I see. So as it changed hands, they renamed it.
Yeah, correct.
And sank in here.
Yeah. it's a real neat wreck to dive, but it's got a lot of life on it too. And over the course of several years, we've got 2 Jewfish, one named Elvis, one named Priscilla. Okay, one's bigger, larger than, I guess it's the old Elvis.
The old Elvis, the svelte Elvis.
Yeah, svelte.
Now, the Jewfish are starting to return, as you were saying, because they've outlawed spearfishing of Jewfish. They're an endangered species, so now they come in and you regularly feed these because they were very friendly and were hanging around as if they expected something.
Yeah, they're commonly fed by all the dive operators in Key West area, so they become almost regulars down there. So they come up and meet the divers. You can actually pat them. It's kind of a neat experience. The other creature down there that is quite friendly is the eel, named Missy, which is about a 6-foot green moray eel.
Does she eat the jelly donuts also, like Elvis?
Like Elvis, yeah.
Okay.
Generally, we feed them some bait fish, ballyhoo, that type of thing.
They seem to like that.
Yeah.
Now, we have some footage of feeding the creatures here.
Yeah, we're gonna go do that, and we got some pretty good stuff we've collected over time, and obviously with some better visibility days, and I think you guys are gonna kick out of it.
All right, well, let's take a look at feeding Elvis. You're going down with the Florida Keys Sportsman. Now that was some outstanding action of feeding those fish. Do you ever feel like you're in a position of danger at all when you're down there?
Well, I mean, the fish that we feed are wild animals. This is not a domesticated animal, so they're either friendly or aggressive depending on your point of view, but it's something to treat with extreme caution.
Yeah. Now, maybe you don't want to talk about it, but do you ever have incidents where people are bit? Or...
Oh yeah. We've had people have their hands nipped by the eels. We've had their whole hands taken in by the Jewfish because they're trying to avoid the eel and moving the bait out.
Sounds like maybe a little personal experience
very
there.
much so.
You had mentioned they double team you sometimes. You're feeding one and then the other one is behind you.
One of our instructor captains, Richard McCauley's had his hand taken in. I've had mine taken in. It's something that we preach to all our customers and that
You
we
don't
take
really
out diving.
recommend.
No, we don't.
Okay.
We don't
And
really.
how long you've had this zoo feeding program here?
They outlawed the hunting of Jewfish probably about 3, maybe 4 years ago. Probably 3 years ago.
So they're an endangered species,
were-
like a turtle or dolphin.
Correct, and they've come back pretty strong. Although I believe the Key West area is the only one right now that has them on a regular basis on their wrecks. But they are coming back pretty strong.
So you've been now you said the eel has been here for years.
Yeah, the eel is the one we first started feeding. She wound up getting caught by a fisherman, and they cut her neck, so you see her jaws is a little off.
She looked a
her
little
skewer.
deformed there,
Yeah,
but she's a
we
eel.
were- We were feeding her to keep her alive, and it just kind of turned into something a little
Sort
bit
of
more.
the eel growth food, probably. Well, we've had just another outstanding day here on the Florida Keys Sportsman. Both Tim and I got to dive on the Cayman Salvage Master off the coast of Key West, Florida.
Tune in to future episodes as we explore the Florida Keys Sportsman style.